This video highlights the new student onboarding process that Dawn proposed, which I have formalized in our Samanage ticketing system. So what I've done in Samanage, we go into Service Desk, Service Catalog, and in the Service Catalog there is a Service Catalog item called New Student Onboarding. If you have access to this page, you would then click Request, and that would fire off the request. But before we do that, I'm just going to show you what the process entails. So this is the description of the service catalog. Basically, Dawn Norman or somebody in charge of accounts receivable and payroll opens this ticket, and then it would fire off a process where Kurt or I or any network admin would then be prompted to create the user accounts in Active Directory and create the email mailboxes. And once we do that, Dawn would enter the email addresses in Senior Systems, and then Krista Fusco imports the students from accounts receivable into Registrar, and then Kathy creates the Canvas accounts, and then Bo would send her emails to the new students, and Dawn would create the My Backpack accounts, and then finally the ticket would be closed. So these are the fields that I've included in the service catalog. None of them are mandatory. And here's the formal process. Once the ticket is created, network administrators will be prompted to create Active Directory and email accounts. And then once we check off a checkbox, the process would then notify Dawn to enter the students' email addresses in Senior Systems, and then she would check off a checkbox, and then the process would notify Chris to import the students from AR into Registrar, and then when he checks a checkbox, the process would notify Kathy to create the Canvas account, and then when Kathy checks the checkbox, Bo would be notified to send her welcome emails, and then when Bo checks the checkbox, the process would notify Dawn to create the My Backpack accounts. And then when she checks off the final checkbox, the process would stop. The reason I did not make these steps mandatory, these fields mandatory, is that sometimes we get a request to create, more than 100 new students. Like this year, we had 142 new students. And then after those initial large batch of students were created, we received additional requests for, one new account to be created, or 2 new accounts, or 3 new accounts. These fields for the first name, last name, graduating year, and student and parent personal email addresses would be useful for any of these ad hoc, onesies and twosies requests. But I did create an option to attach a spreadsheet in case there's a bulk user creation request to be made. So going back to the list of service catalogs, there is a request button, and I'm going to start a request here. So presumably Dawn would be the one to start this process. Dawn, I'm going to email you this link that I have highlighted in the URL field. I'll email that to you after I finish making this video. But anyway, she would come here. The requester right now has my name because I'm logged in, but when Dawn does this, she would be listed as the requester. So I'm just going to attach a spreadsheet here and leave these. Actually, let's just do a phony student here. So I'm going to submit the request. Again, this would be Dawn submitting the request. And then I would be notified of a new ticket assigned to me. And then I would create the user account and create the email accounts. And then when I'm done, I have this checkbox I can check off. And when I do that, Dawn would be notified to complete her step. And then when she's done with that, she would check her box. Chris would check his box. Kathy would check her box when she's created the Canvas accounts. Bo would be notified, and then she sends the welcome messages. She checks her box. And then Dawn would be notified to create a backpack accounts for the new students. And then when she's done, she checks her box. And then the process is complete. And that would automatically close the ticket. And that should be it. That's how the process would be handled in the future. I'm going to share this video with all of you shortly. I hope this was informative, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.